Well, a significant step towards gender parity in Nigeria's political landscape is underway as a bill to reserve 74 legislative seats for women passed its second reading in the House of Representatives. The bill, which aims to bolster female representation in government, received widespread reactions from lawmakers across party lines. Proponents of the bill argue that it addresses the chronic underrepresentation of women in Nigeria's legislative bodies, which has long been a barrier to inclusive governance. The bill seeks to ensure women's voices are more prominently heard in national policy making by reserving specific seats for women. Let's bring in Joshua Gana, House of Representatives member representing Lavun Mokwa, Edati Federal Constituency in Niger State, who is a co-sponsor of the bill. Good to see you and thanks for your time. Well, it's good thing we're coming back to this because we recall then in the last
the Ninth Assembly?
Yes. Well, there was a whole lot of back and forth with this, and yes, many were so disappointed that it was shut down. So let us in on the rationale behind this, enactment of this bill.
Okay. As we know, currently we are going through the constitutional review led by the chairman of that committee is the current Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, who is the promoter of this bill, the Right Honorable Benjamin Okezie Kalu of the 10th Assembly. And in lawmaking, if within the 4-year period that we have as in the 10th Assembly, we're not able to fulfill it, signing into law, of course, it will be penciled down to continue in the next Assembly. So having not gotten it in the 9th Assembly, it was represented now and even more fine-tuned to the realities that we see in the world today, because Nigeria ranks very low above women representation in parliaments, and it's becoming embarrassing, being the giant of Africa and all the good names Nigeria has built for itself, but then that coloration is not seen in its parliaments. And so that's what this bill seeks to achieve and resolve, to have more women participation in lawmaking, in the legislative process of oversight, and all the provisions that we have, that in altering this constitution, as we're reviewing the constitution now, this is the time to set that in place.
Joshua, no better time than to bring this spot on. But again, the worry here would be, how do you ensure that from the entry level, now in this case we're talking about the political parties, that the women got a space within that umbrella before they get to see if they can actually get elected?
Okay. So, well, we have to get it right because of the design stage. We're in the design stage. So it's just the second reading. The next reading will be for public hearing, where all the experts, all the organizations, NGOs, everyone will bring their input, and then we brainstorm together to see what will be the best way forward on this. Now, it's a creation of seats, and what I'll call special seats. It's not the electable, let me put it, the elected seats that we have now, which is 360 seats. It seeks to bring about additional special seats for women. All right. So it will be one in the Senate for the 36 states of the Federal Republic, including FCT, 2 in the House of Representatives for every state, for the 36 states and the FCT, and then 3 representing each senatorial zone for state houses of assembly. So that's the structure that the design takes, so that there's full representation from the National Assembly to the state assemblies to resolve and bring about more participation by our women. So at that design stage, we're hoping, because it's a concurrent matter, it has to be passed at the national and also passed at the subnationals. And so we seek that this alteration bill will be supported by all states of state houses of assembly and move Nigeria forward. And this is just for a temporary period till the next review for 4 political circles, which will be 16 years. So it's not, we won't say it's cast in stone, but it's something that must come at this point. Let's just test it, let it have its impact on Nigerians, and especially the home front with the women, and women who are professionals, women who are involved in every circle of the human existence and human life. Why won't they be in that same seat with us, deciding, crafting, and designing the right policies and legislation for the federal government?
Well, let's hope that this sails through, and after 16 years, the men folks and the country will now be, attuned to getting more seats for women and giving them a chance. But again, how does this play out in the party levels? Because now you say you will not start from the entry level from the political parties, but how do you allocate these seats? Will it be dominated by the ruling party, or how do you do this? Yes,
well, since there are special seats, when we get into that with the public engagement, experts will guide us. We have presidents from all the countries in Africa who have designed this. We are ranking 180 out of all the countries in the world, out of 192. So we want to scale up quite all right. But there's not about even competition of nations. It's about, don't we think at this point, if we have said everything about gender, inclusivity, and all the talk that we have, that we now get into doing what we say properly and involving them. So it's going to be special seats. For instance, these special seats would have been people with disabilities, would have been people that are blind, special seats for people that are blind. It could have been special seats for any other, but for now, we feel, let it be for women, because we celebrate our women who are professionals. We celebrate our women who man the homes more in bringing up our children. So why shouldn't they be there, having statutory seats that we will design in such a way that at every time we come into a parliamentary session, we are sure that we have this amount of women going through that process. So imagine a professional woman who has done very well in the business sector and could help us, who might not be so vast in the private sector, but she has a seat as a CEO in parliament to say, in crafting this policy to affect this side of the economy, you people need to look at A, B, C, D, because we're people from the industry, we're professionals, and if we tweak it in this direction, we will go the right way. And this, so there will not be that far-fetched space between governance and the people and those that are running the economy.
Exciting times. But again, Representative Gana, this is coming from the Deputy Speaker and yourself. Let us in on how this has been received in the House by your colleagues, and specifically the women representatives.
Well, the women representatives even rose to the occasion. They were very happy about this bill. They supported it. Certain quarters didn't understand the design. Maybe they didn't read their papers that was shared around from our processes there, to see that it does not take away the electable seats that they already are enjoying among the 360 of us. It seeks to bring about special seats in addition. So many people felt, okay, you want to put this law, force it down the throats of political parties and say, you can't purchase a form because certain constituency is for women. No. Constituencies will not be punished. I mean, we're in a democratic period, so it's freedom of speech, freedom to participate, freedom to look for anything. And we're not even stopping women within the party policies of 35%, 40% of them being either appointed or running for electable offices. We're not stopping them to keep trying to bring women into electable seats. But then, in bringing a stopgap, since we're reviewing the Constitution, and we seek to alter it to say, let's put some special seats for this season to be a stopgap. And then until we have seen about 16 years of training women in Parliament, having that experience, having that rich contribution, and even we, the men that are arguing with our testosterones there, will now say, oh, it's better that we have the women folk in here. And so, guys, in our parties, please, certain constituencies should not. And then if it's the results are very good, we continue. We don't have to review it downwards. But if it's not brought about what we seek to do, then it can be removed from our constitution at that point. Yes.
Well, it's a fine conversation, and I'm hoping that we'll stay on this and we'll see how it pans out. Good job there, Representative Joshua Gana. Many thanks for pushing this, and we can't wait to see it come to fruition.
Thank you very much.